Here I'm going to do an hour-by-hour schedule from scratch. We'll add a program. We'll select it. We'll say it's going to be all days. We'll add all hours. Whoops, added one too many. We'll put some artist-composer separation on and some album separation for those compilation albums with multiple artists. That all looks good, and we'll head in and we'll start doing a script. Now, hour by hour with soft top of the hour transitions, the previous hour would be filling to just about one song away from the top of the hour. So our first command is going to be to fill with some more music to get us to the top of the hour. So the minimum here is set to top of hour, TOTH, which is a special command that tries to get as close as possible to the top of the hour, but it is allowed to actually air either side of the top of the hour. We'll pick the music for this, so let's see, we'll go to our rotating music here, and we'll do the usual thing for music, which is random, unique, all separations, and hour avoidance. So this should take us to the top of the hour. The next top of the hour coming up is 2 p.m. So for the next command, since we have achieved getting to the top of the hour with this building block, let's do a time announce. We're in Scheduler Advanced, so we can do time announces. So I'll add a time command there. And right after the time, we want to pick from our station IDs. Let's find our station IDs. And for this, I want to have random and unique if possible, but allow it to fall back in case it can't find a unique if we don't have enough inventory to do unique. So that's done. Oh, we can add on the station ID as well. Check this box to do the station ID. Now, what that does is there's a button back here that will many times will say ID with a question mark, whether or not you've ID'd. And you can manually hit that if you're doing a live broadcast to indicate that you've done your ID. Otherwise, it's blinking around the ID time. But this line here with this attribute of station ID, when this track plays, it will actually tick this button over here to indicate that the station has ID'd. So for our next command, I think we're going to do like a jingle or promo. We'll make that random and unique, and we'll give it the option to turn unique off if it needs to. For our next command, by the way, if I have a command selected, a script line selected, and I hit the plus, it actually duplicates it. If I have nothing selected, it starts off from scratch. So for this next one, we want to go back to the music. So we'll do a fill. And I want to fill with as many tracks as are needed to get to a particular point. So the point I want to get to is a range. We'll go for a range of 12 minutes to 15 minutes. Now, a lot of people get this mixed up as to what this fill actually means. The fill means to fill to the destination after the top of the program, in this case, the top of the hour. So for the next segment, this would be filling to 2:12 to 2:15. This is not meant to fill with 12 to 15 minutes worth of music. It's meant to get to that destination. And for this, we want to pick the program of music. And the usual attributes for music are UAH. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that because I'm going to do that a few times. So we'll copy. We'll paste a few times. This will be up to there and one more. Okay. So what we'll be doing is playing some music, go to a jingle, play some music, go to a jingle. But let me set these times a little bit differently. We'll go to 27 to 30. And for this one, we'll go to, let's say, 42 to 45. And for this last one here, what I want to do is get to one song length away from the top of the hour. So a song length, I think, is between 3 and 5 minutes. So to get to 3 to 5 minutes from the top of the hour, we would be getting to 55 to 57. And that is the basis of the schedule. So having gotten to the one song length away from the top of the hour, you can see when this script repeats in the next hour, this one's going to try to find a track that gets us as close as possible to the top of the hour. It will search through the playlist, our modern transportation here, and see if it can find an exact fit that fits to the top of the hour here. And a lot of times it will get it right on. So even for a soft hour transition, these tend to hit quite well to the exact time. But of course you'd have to have the right inventory, and you'd have to guess at the right time ranges and all that. But most of the time it works out. Well, we're heading right into the time where it's actually supposed to be scheduling. Next to be scheduled is at 1:40. We're just about at 1:40 now, and we're going to see what it does. We've pretty much got nothing going on in DJ right now, so it's going to have a fair amount of filling to do to get to the top of the hour. So it may not hit this one perfectly right on, but we'll see what it does. All right, so I've got the players muted here so I can talk while it's going on. And I have to say it did quite well. Found some tracks and got us to about 2 o'clock. So it does the time announce at 2 o'clock. It does the station ID here. It does the promo. And it goes and does the music and other promo and so on and so forth. And gets us right along to somewhere not quite where we wanted to be. We're a little bit shy of the 50, what did we go, 55 to 57? So we missed it by a little bit. But we might be able to find a song that, well, this one would have to be 5.5 minutes in order to fill past this point here. So let's see what Scheduler says about this. Now you'll notice when it goes to schedule, it goes right over to the scheduler log. And this is to emphasize how important it is to not just look at the results that you get in DJ, which are, of course, important. But if you see results in DJ and you're wondering why some things happened or didn't happen, it's a good idea to take a look back at the log here to see how it made the decisions it did. So, for instance, the rotation of music had 150 tracks, and the promos had 7, and we had 15 IDs to choose from. And it had no tracks in queue, so there was nothing to look at there. And it programmed as best as it could up to very close to what I thought was 2 o'clock. And let's see, added a time announcement. That's quite a bit over, actually. Let me check for its oh, that's because, yeah, the time we're scheduling here. From the time, this will actually get more accurate in the next time it schedules, and I can actually show that. We'll simulate a scheduling of 3 p.m. in a moment here. In fact, let's do that right now. Go back over here. So the next to be scheduled would be 3 p.m. at 2:40 p.m. And I'm going to do that just to show what it does, and then I'll delete all of that and let it do its own thing when it's its proper time to do so. So we want to do 3 p.m. and I'm going to select 3 p.m. and I'm going to say manually build. I'll go back over to the log here, shows all the tracks in queue, imports stuff from iTunes, makes its decisions, and sends everything back over to DJ to play over here. Now you can see when things came into DJ because they're marked by, every time something comes in from scheduler, they're marked by the fact that it's an opportunity to change the preference at DJ. So they'll always have this preference marker as the first track that came in. And as you can see here, it got very close to 3 o'clock. And you'll notice that 3 o'clock is announced as 3 o'clock, even at 2:59 and 55 seconds. And this was my decision as a programmer, that I thought if we're that close, that we're almost talking right into 3 o'clock, it's better just to say it actually is 3 o'clock and announce it that way, even if we're a few seconds beforehand. And it got very close.